Today I wanted to read out some posts from my favorite sub, Am I the Asshole? They have some funny situations, in case you don't know, where people aren't sure whether they've done something wrong, and they will post here for the whole internet to judge them and decide whether they are the asshole or not, because they clearly have no judgment of themselves and how to be a good person. So you have to outsource your good judgment to the people of Reddit, and that's whether or not that's a questionable decision, that's not up for me to decide. So I say we just go for it. So, am I the asshole? My husband will invite his family and friends over without telling me until that day. He then expects me to clean, run to the store and prep/cook everything. I finally just decided to leave the house the last time he told me because I only had 4 hours till their arrival. He cancelled. Okay. The thing is, his family is constantly judging and talking about each other, so when he says it doesn't matter, they don't care. I know and he knows, he's full of it. Also, it's not just tidying the house. We're not regularly stocked in food or drinks to have people over. When I got home, I asked what he was planning on having for dinner, and he responded, I don't know, I guess it's good that they aren't coming over anymore. Now he is sulking, saying that I am the problem because I can't go with the flow. I have told him multiple times I just need a couple of days notice to get things in order, but he insists I am just difficult, uptight and uncooperative. Am I the asshole? This is actually a tricky one because, I mean, it's absolutely terrible to say, okay, we're having people over, just clean everything. You know, maybe as like a one-time favor, it's like okay to ask of your spouse, but it seems to happen a few times, or no? My husband will invite his family and friends over without telling me until that day. It makes it sound like it's happened multiple times. I'm not sure that it's happened multiple times, to be fair. It's kind of hard to decide on this one. So in that regard, then, yeah, I mean, he then goes to say that, or OP goes to say that there's like some gossiping going on in the family, whether or not like things are prepared in the house up to the standard of this demanding family who will bitch about each other behind their backs. It doesn't sound like healthy family dynamics, but okay. And so, okay, OP has told him multiple times, I just need a couple of days to get things in order, but he insists I'm just difficult, uptight and cooperative. And then you can't just be, you know, as the husband, you can't just be like, I don't know, I guess it's good that they aren't coming over anymore, and then turn around and say the other thing. That's kind of tough. So I will say, if it's the first time that this is happening, which the post doesn't suggest so, I would say that she's being maybe kind of an asshole. OP, they are being an asshole maybe, but because it's implied that it happens often, I think at that point this person is definitely not the asshole. And it does say here, not the asshole. So what do people say? Not the asshole. The fact that he cancelled instead of doing the prep work and hosting on his own proves that he knows how much work is involved in going with the flow. If he doesn't want to do it, why should you? That's so true. That sounds like utter cowardice. I pray this marriage doesn't find me. Yep, your husband is lazy a-hole and needs to grow up. He's lazy, but an ass. I don't know. Has anyone gone crazy? And this is just... Don't leave next time, just chill in the living room, watch TV, and when he asks why you aren't frantically getting the house ready for him, tell him you're going with the flow and you look forward to seeing what he comes up with for his impromptu get-together. Yeah, that's a good response actually, if you really wanted to stab them in the back. It's maybe a little over-escalate-y, but it works in a pinch, I guess, if you really wanted to get back at your husband. What about this? Am I the asshole for enforcing basic boundaries on my daughter's sleepover? As someone with no kids, hard to say, but let's have a look. I, 42M, have 2 kids living with me. My daughter Anya, 17F, and my stepson Noah, 14M. Noah's mum passed a few years ago, and I've had full custody since. He's had a rough go of it, but he's a good kid with his quirks. He's not antisocial or shy, but he does not appreciate having his space invaded, and when very upset, he can kind of shut down. I mean, what can you expect with a kid that's come from a broken family? It's a shame. Anya is much more outgoing and has a lot of friends. She asked to have a sleepover this weekend with 4 of them. I said yes, of course, but given that the friends who were coming were pretty loud and have a tendency to crowd Noah, I told her to make sure they don't go into her brother's room. Also to keep things down after 11 so that the house can sleep. In my opinion, these are not strict rules. These are perfectly fine rules, in my opinion as well. To my surprise, I came downstairs to check on them about 10. They're 17. I don't think I need to check on them every hour or something. And they were in Noah's room. Well, that's already a fail. And they looked like they'd been there a while. 2 were literally sitting on his bed with him there. One of them was flipping through his sketchbook. Another was messing with his other stuff. And they were all kind of giggling in this weird way. I don't know how a parent has like the vibe for telling if their kids are like, or if their kids, or in this case, like even someone else's 17-year-old kids are acting kind of strange and being rude. I guess it's, you can tell by the reaction on Noah, which hopefully is what, yeah, here we go. Noah was clearly upset. He didn't say anything / move, but there were tears in his eyes and he didn't respond when I tried to talk to him. Yeah, at that point it's cooked. Let's see how he reacts. I told her that I gave them 2 rules and they failed spectacularly. I did actually call all of their parents and sent them home as soon as possible. Anya blew up saying I embarrassed her. I told her to go to her room, that we would speak on this in the morning. I spent about 20 minutes with Noah before he decided he wanted to cool down on his own, and I went back to my daughter who chose not to speak to me. It's late, both of my kids are hopefully asleep and I'm left not knowing if I handled things right. So I took to Reddit. Now you will fulfill the curiosity on whether I'm the arsehole or not. So hopefully I can get a peaceful night of sleep is what this man did. Okay, you know, when you have an altercation with your family, I don't know if Reddit's like the first thing you turn to, like the night of, but we're thankful that you did. We're thankful that you did, because here we are reading your little story. I think while it's not the asshole, maybe, you know, if you only checked on them once, you could have given them a warning. As a non-parent, I don't understand the feeling of watching your child be like quiet in the corner, like with tears. So it's hard to say. Maybe, you know, feelings kind of overtook him and called their parents right away so they would all leave, when maybe like a warning would have been good. I think a warning would have been the optimal solution. I cannot label this man an asshole just for calling the parents because the kids broke the rules, though. Man, I'm too young pilled for this. Let's see. You handled things perfectly. Okay, you set very reasonable rules and your daughter decided not to care and upset Noah. I'll ground her. She doesn't care to have embarrassed Noah, but she sure cares that she couldn't get her way. What was she expecting after she broke the rules? I mean, but like a warning, maybe, you know, maybe if he'd kept like a closer eye and when they went into Noah's room, like a warning. And the precedent to be set if there are no consequences. Yeah, I mean, consequences need to happen, but like a warning, though. These people are very... Holy hell, not the arsehole. And it's honestly strange that 4 17-year-old girls decided to spend their evening harassing a 14-year-old. That's also weird behavior, but what can you expect from 17-year-old girls? Not the arsehole, your daughter needs to be punished. I have several older brothers. I never went into their rooms and they never went into mine. It seems like common decency and common sense. Yeah, boundaries weren't like... I mean, they were set and they were stated, but, you know, maybe not put into practice before this occasion, maybe? Hard to say. Very good job, OP. I'm sure Anya is upset. But that is because of her own actions. Ah, yes, the consequences. I love it when people face them. Yeah, but like a warning, man. This is kind of... maybe this is a bit too much. Noah's upset because her sister intentionally hurt him. Those are different things, and you did the right thing in correcting the former child and protecting the latter child. Edit, I've never gotten an award before, and now I have 4. Okay. And a warning? Has no one heard of a warning here? Okay. Sure. 35,000 upvotes and 13 little heart things. Incredible. Okay. Am I the asshole for ordering alcohol? Am I the asshole? I'm currently on a solo trip in Tenerife. All inclusive to save having to look for places to eat by myself. Been there, done that, not in Tenerife, but yeah, okay. Understood the vibe. Vibe check passed. The hotel has club style seating, meaning that all tables are tables of 8 and people get sat together. Apparently, it's to encourage a sense of community and conversation. I hate this hotel. I hate this hotel. What the hell? How hard is it to put tables for 2, tables for 4, for 6, for 8? Why does it have to be? Why do you try and... What is this? Okay, this is massive red flag for me. If I saw this in the booking, if I saw this as a commentary, like a review on the booking, I would seriously consider whether or not to book this hotel, because this might be a deal breaker. And it's a solo trip. I mean, well, actually, you know, if you're a solo trip and this place is kind of thought for solo travelers, then, you know, making friends and like travel is kind of good, especially if you're in Tenerife. Let's try and guess where OP is from based on this. Okay, they went to Tenerife, so they could be Dutch, they could be German. Let's use our little our European sense to suss this guy out. All right. Last night I was seated first and had a glass of wine. I had a glass of wine first. Interesting. A family of 5 got seated at my table. Okay, so there's families. So this is clearly not a hostel or anything. This is a hotel with families and big tables. This is kind of weird. 2 adults and 3 children. The mother turned to me and said, "We do not wish to expose our children to women drinking alcohol." Sorry for misgendering OP. It's a woman. I smiled and said perhaps they should ask to move tables if it was an issue, but I would be drinking the wine. They noticed I was on my own and made passive-aggressive comments about this. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. I mean, it's kind of weird to say, especially when you're in Tenerife, like exposing your kids to women who are adults drinking. Although OP has not included their age. Maybe it's weird if they're like clearly underage and are drinking wine. That's pretty strange. But if they're like a fully grown woman solo traveling, the age in my head is like 22 to 24. I can't suss out where they're from for now. I went up to get food, and on the return, the wine had disappeared. A waiter came over and asked to see my wristband for the all-inclusive and said the family had told them I was underage. I knew it! I knew it! She looks very young, and it must have sneaked away from my parents. He was very apologetic and returned with a fresh glass of wine just as the family came back with their food. Am I the asshole for then requested the waiter brought me the full bottle along with a couple of shots of vodka? The family stormed out of the restaurant when I drank the shots and they arrived at the table. This is not like a stable person. I'm sorry, OP. Everyone seems to really love your post for one reason or another. But like, clearly you're young looking enough where they thought that, yeah, so maybe it's like off-putting. Also, okay, it's just weird to me that you're solo traveling and the first thing you do when you sit down, yeah, maybe that's not so weird. I've never solo traveled, to be fair. When I've solo traveled, it's been to then meet friends. So I don't know what the headspace is like when you're a solo traveler. But like, am I the asshole for then requested the waiter brought me the full bottle along with a couple of shots of vodka? The family stormed out of the restaurant when I drank the shots and they arrived at the table. Like, wow, you got back at them. Shows them for telling you. I mean, they're definitely assholes for telling you that they don't wish to expose their children to women drinking alcohol. I guess if you're very young looking and have a serious case of baby face, you might be able to understand this if you're an empathetic person, but if you're not, which maybe, you know, P looks like, maybe, then this is, I would say this is slightly asshole behavior. Like, come on, I don't know, just, you know, you could have just like said nothing and then like addressed it. Okay, let's see what people are saying. Not the asshole, I guess. Then don't take your kids to places where alcohol is served. More Manila. More Manila. I've never heard that. Yeah, that's pretty weird. I would say that's pretty weird. It's just women drinking alcohol. What the hell is this about? It's clearly not an issue with alcohol as much as it is with women. Sheesh. Also true. Doesn't mean that what OP did was not arsehole behavior. We don't wish to expose our children to women drinking alcohol. Is that so great? I'll show you how a real woman drinks. Yeah. That it's actually pretty sexist of the family to say that. Is that what they actually said? Or is it what OP wrote down here? Hard to say. I'm not gonna dig that hole any further. But yeah. Yeah, hard. I don't think they're clearly not the asshole, like everyone seems to think in this post that's been upvoted into the stratosphere. Yeah, okay, I see it. But the shots, the bottle and the like, get you some dinner. Have some dinner. This is like, this person is 20, like early 20s. Maybe they're 19 to be honest. Solo traveling, you know, out uni, maybe made some money working some job at uni. They sound British, to be honest, and they're in Tenerife. I think Americans wouldn't have this response. I don't know. Are they American? Leave your your guess as to the nationality of OP in the comments. That's interesting. Okay. Am I the asshole for not giving my sister my wife's clothes? My wife was a corporate lawyer and mediator. She has some very nice work clothes. She was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and was gone in 2 years. Wow. What a way to start your Reddit post. Last 6 months of her life were hell. Yeah, I bet. My sister Sarah didn't do jack shit for us. Of us? My sister Sarah didn't do jack shit for us of us during that time. My wife never liked her. I do not like her. She is a selfish cow. Jesus Christ. Am I the asshole behavior for like shitting on my sister? Okay. At my wife's wake, she started asking about my wife's clothes and I brushed her off. She wanted to pick out a few pieces to remember my wife by and I ignored her. Fiendish behavior. Absolutely fiendish behavior. It's been 6 months and I've attended my mum's birthday, but I'm still not in the mood to deal with people. Then Sarah comes asking about my wife's clothes. I told her my wife wanted me to donate them to this women's shelter and she often helped where she often helped, I suppose. It will help women in need win their own court cases, court appointments, and job interviews. My sister Sarah said my wife was even selfish in death. Jesus Christ. I asked her what the fuck did she mean? Reasonable response. And she started going off on how my wife always thought she was better than her and it's not fair that the clothes are going to... It's not fair that the clothes are going to charity and not to family. Damn, tell me you have an inferiority complex without telling me you have an inferiority complex. I told my sister I would rather see my wife's clothes lit on fire than on her back. Oh my god. My sister started crying. Yeah. And my mum came over to see what was wrong. Uh-oh, the mother, let's see. The mother of these two children. My mum told me to be easy on my sister because she was talking about my wife's death hard. What? She was talking about my wife's death hard? Okay. The fucking insanity of that coming out of my mum's mount made me grab my gift and leave. My mum acts like I had to ruin her birthday by being melodramatic, but I cannot believe their emotional blackmail towards me over fucking clothes that they have no right to. OP is definitely not the asshole in this case, especially after what the sister says. His response is like stabby, and it's exactly what warrants 29,000 upvotes on Reddit. It's exactly what the people want to see. Not the asshole. The sister has problems though. Besides the fact you're following your wife's wishes, your sister is acting like a vulture. Enough said. I don't think we need to read on with this one. But what a story, holy. Okay. Am I the asshole for not stopping my teenage son's girlfriend from kissing him? Double take. Am I the asshole for not stopping my teenage son's girlfriend from kissing him? Okay. My 50 son, 17, okay, recently got into a car accident with a drunk driver. I'm very thankful that he's alive, obviously, but his car is totaled. The drunk driver was driving a pickup and my son drives a small old convertible, most likely the reason for the amount of damage. Ooh. Okay, how to get the audience on your side, including me. And he's fairly injured, i.e. multiple breaks, lost lots of stitches, etc., and is currently recovering. This all occurred last week on Saturday, the night of the incident. My family, my wife 45 and daughter 14, got there, and I want to say an hour before his girlfriend. When she came in, she ran to him in his hospital bed and started hugging and kissing him, mainly lips, but other places on his face too. Okay. She stayed for most of the night, checking up on him and being supportive, and I was happy my son and his girlfriend had such a good relationship. So far so good, except for the drunk drive obviously, but so far so good. As we were driving home that night, my wife said she was upset I didn't say anything to my son's girlfriend. I asked why I would have, as she was being a good partner. My wife said that it felt weird seeing that, especially in front of his family. I said that he was going off to college regardless and that she was being a really nice partner, and that night showed us how much she truly cared for him. She rushed off to work to get there and was still wearing her work clothes as she got there. My wife started getting angrier and said that she thought it was gross and thought I should just ask her to leave sometime. I told her that I'm not telling my hospitalized son that I'm taking away something that clearly makes him happy. Yeah, what? Okay. She told me it was gross and that I needed to put a stop to it. I told her she was worrying about the wrong thing and that anything that brought our son comfort was good. My brother had taken my daughter home before this. She didn't hear us arguing. She told me I needed to step up and do my job, and I've kept thinking about it, and I have started to keep thinking about it and thinking, what am I that I am in the wrong? Okay. Yeah, weird behavior from the wife. No one is the asshole here at all, I don't think. Interesting story. I can't suss out where they're from. Nationality wise, it probably sounds like the US because the son's 17 and he's driving, so it's definitely US. Alone, you know, in Germany and France and a lot of people, you can drive accompanied by an adult, but in this case, I guess the son was driving alone. Which is probably for the better because the less people get injured, the better. Yeah. Step up and do my job is rather harsh on the husband when there was like, clearly this was fine. Even the daughter 14, like at some point, like people kiss, man, people kiss. It's something that happens and there's no like age where you shouldn't see people kissing. It just happens, and the more you see it, the more prepared you will be to it, or else you get clips like people who've never kissed anyone until they get married and they're at the altar and then the priest says you may kiss the bride and he goes in like with his freaking jaw unlocked like a Tyrannosaurus. That's not what you want. You want to see people kiss to know what to do and what not to do. So I'm on the father's side, not the asshole. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Okay. Am I the asshole for not being friendly with my partner's daughters now that they've warmed up to me? Am I the asshole for not being friendly with my partner's daughters now that they've warmed up to me? Sounds like yes, but clearly not. Let's see. I'll bite. I'm 42, dating Tim, 59, a widower. He's in banking. He's 6 foot. Blue eyes. I'm a bartender. I know what it looks like. Okay, you have like a prejudice and kind of this pressure on you. That's understandable. His 2 daughters thought the same thing, but he's broke as a joke and I've got a trust fund. So actually no. Whoa! Oh, I'm looking for a guy in finance. 6'5", blue eyes, but I have the trust fund. Uh-oh. I mean, God, money sucks. Money always sucks. I'm 42, dating Tim, a widower. Yeah. He's in banking, I'm a bartender, but I've got a trust fund. I don't like the energy coming from OP already. But okay, I guess that they have to like debunk this energy. Also, they're not thinking any. It's not like you're like 22 and he's Leonardo DiCaprio. You're 42. This is very different. He's broke because his late wife got cancer 3 times. He ran up 6 credit cards, second mortgage on the house, crashed out his retirement, everything and anything to get her the treatment she needed, and then to get treatment enough to go see both daughters married. Yeah. His daughters live 6 hours drive away. That's pretty far. We drove them for Christmas last year and the year before. They ignored me, dragged Tim away when he tried to include me, and prevented their husbands from making even small talk with me by talking over me. Damn. Okay. That's actually insane behavior. Year 1, Tim chastised them. They apologized to him, not me. Bad. They blamed the pain of seeing their dad with a woman who wasn't their mum. Yeah. Year 2, they did it again. Wow. This year I told Tim, not again. He could go. I would never ask him not to see his daughters for Christmas, but I'll stay here. Yeah, I mean, it's like the third time's the charm, though. Maybe you should have rolled the dice and tried if the third time it doesn't work. Yeah, maybe I'm being too nice. I obviously can't put myself in this person's shoes, to be honest. So it's kind of hard to say. Tim didn't love the idea because me going with him means we can share the responsibility of driving when his back starts to bother him. He hates to fly. He hates to fly. Red flag, red flag. He hates to fly. His 2010 death trap is starting to go anyway, so I leased him a comfy luxury ride. My brother has a dealership. Nice. That's very nice of the wife, I have to say. Well done, OP. That's incredibly nice of you putting the trust fund to work. He called the girls, super excited that he'd be able to see them more often without having to worry about his back. Who then blew up and accused him of spending their mother's money on a bullshit house and car to impress some bimbo bartender and didn't offer them a dime for their weddings. Yikes. Whew. That's some hard-hitting language. In the ensuing argument, it came out that they assumed there had been a life insurance policy, nor did they have any idea about the credit card debt or the second mortgage that the house was underwater on, or that Tim was looking at foreclosure and bankruptcy until he moved in with me. Damn. Boss energy from the wife. They did not realize it was my house, that he pays no bills, save the water bill, man takes excessive showers and shared groceries, and she's based. I don't want to ask about like her relationship with her parents who left her a trust fund, but now she's a bartender. No disrespect to all bartenders, it's just I've never heard of a bartender with a trust fund. Now the girls want my number. They are sorry I felt lonely at Christmas. Damn, that's very rude of the daughters. Okay, I think I need to touch back on the bartender comment. Listen, big ups for all the people making out a career. It's just very strange because, you know, parents with trust funds will, you know, shoehorn their kids into whatever bank or asset management firm, and that's it. So good on you, OP, for going out and doing your own thing. And if your parents want to help you with a trust fund, then that's also nice, but good on you. I've told Tim absolutely not about giving out my number. I'm happy to be polite if they come to visit Tim, but we're not going to be friends. If they had talked to me for even 2 seconds, they'd have understood. I'm not shy about admitting the only thing I have ever contributed to my blessed financial state is not developing a crippling coke addiction like my cousin Danny did. Wow. Oh my God. Cousin Danny catching strays in here. Tim thinks I'm being too unforgiving. They would have warmed up to me eventually, but knowing how generous I am being with their father has made them warm up quicker. So now that they know, they love her. I maintain I don't care about now or later. They had their chance to not be catty brats over incorrect assumptions that I was taking advantage of him. How old are their daughters? Whoever find out. OP, please post everybody's age. Because if they're like 14 and teenagers with their brains or like in the process of rewiring, then you have like a biological excuse for why they're being so unruly and terrible. But they seem like very judgmental. This is exactly the kind of post that gets 27,000 up-to's. You showed them, OP. In this case, she obviously did, because they were just terrible. No, you know what? OP was quite level-headed in here. It's the first time where OP is not like stabbing the knife deeper and just like, you know, taking a step back, which I love. So yeah, OP did good here. OP did good. I'll just read one comment. Info, did your partner ever do anything to correct these assumptions, or was he keeping up the lie to save face? What a question. Yes and no. Yes, because I don't believe Tim had any idea the girls weren't aware that it's my house. I've had him refer to it as my house to the girls. I also had heard him tell them I worked as a bartender for fun, that I don't need to work. Maybe I don't like OP so much. No, because Tim is one, prideful, and two, protective of them. He shielded them from what was going on behind the scenes so that they could spend as much time with their dying mother without being worried about it. Oh my god, like, I love OP, then she drops, I don't need to work. And then I hate her, and now I love her again. Oh god, this is torturous post. Very good, well done. The Mothman cometh. Is that a 42? Also, if this is real, okay, this could be AI generated because it's so damn good and like clickbaity and farmy. But how much do we believe that a 42-year-old woman is called the Mothman cometh? What is this a reference to? I think that's hilarious. Hilarious. Okay. Okay, oh my god. Right. Am I the asshole for not disclosing that I am not Christian? To preface this, I do commissioned artwork and don't discriminate against any subject unless it's... Okay, I'm not biting on this one. This one doesn't have the... Asshole. Ooh, we finally have an asshole. Congratulations, everyone. We found them. And of course, they're a 23-year-old male. So, am I the asshole for making my sister's gender reveal cake grey because she wouldn't tell me the gender? So the title reads, well, not the asshole, right? He doesn't know the gender. What color is the cake going to be? He doesn't want to try blue or pink. Grey is perfectly suited. Maybe he could have done a rainbow color cake. I don't know, but not pink, not blue, because if he gets it wrong, then it's cooked, right? So far it's good. I, 23M, bake as a hobby, and I'm actually pretty good at it. Like, I get paid under the table for weddings and baby showers, kind of good. Respect. My sister is pregnant and wanted me to make the cake for her gender reveal. Cool, no problem. I asked her to send me the info so I could prep the inside classic pink or blue filling. She says, oh no, I want to be surprised too. Just make it neutral for the reveal and we'll all find out together. Huh? So you want a gender reveal cake with no gender revealed? She says she'll have someone email the info to me later. That someone never did. Deadline comes and I still have no gender, so I make the cake. It's grey inside, grey outside. Just full on cement vibes. I even added little fondant clouds for effect. Yum. It still tasted great, but visually grim as hell. I gotta respect him. He knew what he was doing. That's what makes it... Because you can have a very nice grey coloured cake. Maybe it's like a very classy cheesecake, but okay, OP seems like he knew what he was doing. The reveal day comes, they cut into it, and my sister looks pissed. Her husband is confused. People start murmuring. Then she pulls me aside like, why would you make it grey? That's so passive aggressive. Calmly reminded her that no one told me the gender. I literally had no idea what to work with. I told her I wasn't about to guess or go full improv on someone's baby cake. Now my mum says I embarrassed her in front of the family. Oh my god. And that I should have tried harder. Bro, come on. Tried harder to do what? Summon the gender through vibes. Yeah. So am I the asshole for making the most neutral reveal cake in history? I actually did follow up, asked for her a couple of days before the reveal if the info had been sent, and she just said something like, yeah, someone's taking care of it. I figured it was handled. I didn't want to pester her since she seemed chill about it at the time. Why am I not the arsehole on this one? He's still not the arsehole. I mean, he didn't get the info. There wasn't like someone didn't inform him. So I think it's kind of funny. If anyone in this family had a sense of humor, they would have loved it. But clearly, OP, 23M, Baker, who takes cash on hand, is the only person in this family who has a sense of humor. Go figure. I'm confused. Did you not take the opportunity to measure Sige as the date was coming closer to tell your sister? Hey, yeah. He did. He cleared that up. Why couldn't you have made it yellow and baby themed or something? It seems pretty vindictive to make the cake groom cement vibes for an important event when you're so... Okay, important event. This is so America pilled. It's actually hurting me. I mean, I don't think I have to comment more on the whole like gender reveal thing. Ever since last year and the year before, there were actual casualties in gender reveals. It's just something that doesn't happen in Europe here. Yeah, I mean, come on. But it's like the most memorable gender reveal party. Like, people don't see the fun in life. People don't want to have a good time. I feel like it's on purpose. Yeah, just make cake with a theme: baby, vanilla, chocolate, yellow, red velvet, cream, purple. Bro, it's because it's funny. Can people chill about gender reveal parties? I would have loved to be there. Info, were you paid? OP was not paid for the time or ingredients. Also, they follow up to ask agenda a few days before I brushed it off. Not the asshole. Thank you. Someone, thanks for bringing this there. That's another perspective we didn't think about. The money is, where they paid. But if it's like a favor, then Gray was a bit harsh, but then be respectful of your family and their donated expertise. Yeah, dude, I would love to see this cake. Me when I'm... Nah, forget about it.